Major.
Girls, we run this mother. Yeah. Girls, we run this mother.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, do hit that subscribe button. If you want to know more about me, you can go back to my very first video entitled Who Am I and What Is This About? So in honor of Singapore's National Day, I thought I'd do a little video telling you why I love Singapore, and also like what are the best things that you can do, and where are the best places you can go, where are the best places you can eat when you are in Singapore, if ever you decide to visit. So I have been living and working in Singapore now for over 5 years, but previously I also came to work here in 2009 for a year before I went back to the Philippines to give birth to my son. So I really love my life here in Singapore. I love living here. I love the environment here, and I'm going to tell you why. So there are 6 reasons that I can think of just off the top of my head. Firstly, it is that everything works. Okay, everything is efficient. The government works really well for the Singaporeans especially, but even for me, who's just on a unemployment pass, who's sort of like an expat here, as someone who's working here, I still have to pay tax. Not a lot, mind you, not even half as much as the tax that I pay back in Manila, I mean percentage wise from my salary. And the tax that I do pay, I really see where it's going. Everything works. Everything is so efficient. You don't need to own a car here. You can take the train, the buses. They are so efficient. They work. They're comfortable. They are everywhere, literally everywhere. There's a train stop. There's a nearby train stop. There's a nearby bus station. It's so convenient for you to get around. Everything works. Like if something is broken, you can easily call someone. Someone will come and fix it. There are hospitals work. Everything works. It really is a first world country wherein you really feel like first world amenities, first world systems. There is fairness in the way that they treat their workers. I mean, even the domestic helpers get a lot of benefits. They are paid really well. There's fairness for everybody. They practice equality. They embrace diversity in culture. You can see it all around the country. It's a hot pot, meaning like there are many different nationalities that you can come see living here, working here, raising their kids here, and everyone really gels together very well, I could say. And there's harmony, and everybody respects each other's culture, and it's just a good environment. So everything works that way. That is reason number 1. Number 2, it is probably the safest country in the world. If you can think of a safer country to live in, let me know. But it is so safe here. You'll have no issue at all walking the streets late at night. All of the streets are very well lit anyway, but there is really very low crime rate. You will never get scared of being robbed or leaving your door open. A lot of them actually do leave their door open. Their door is open like the whole day. Literally, like if you're living in a condo, you will see a lot of the locals, they leave their doors wide open because everybody can be trusted. It's a really safe environment. You will not feel nervous if you have kids, if you let them out to play. Like if they're gonna get kidnapped, you don't have to worry about that. So, I mean, I think everybody knows that already, but for me, really, that is very important, that I feel safe and secure, and Singapore is really one of, if not the most safest countries in the world. Number 3, I love the physical environment. It is just so clean. The air is so healthy. I think like if you have asthma or something, you should really come here to Singapore and live in Singapore, because your asthma will probably just go away. Like even my own kids, they were very prone to sickness when we were back living in Manila. Dallas, my youngest child, he was sick like every 2 months or something. He got a really bad cough. Even China, my eldest, like every 2 months or so, she'd get some sort of weird illness like a bug and something, but it was very rampant. They were getting sick all of the time. Since we have all moved to Singapore, they hardly ever get sick. I mean, China's been living here for over a year now, and not once has she gotten sick. But when she was back living in Manila, she'd be sick like at least every other month. Dallas, since moving here like over 2 years ago, has not got a cough ever. So that's number 3, clean and healthy physical environment. 4th would be good quality of life. So it's comfortable, and basically living conditions are good. The condos, the apartments that you're able to rent out are spacious. It's not like, for example, in Hong Kong or in Japan, wherein like the condos or the apartments are like super tiny. Here, the condos or the apartments are spacious. If you are able to live in an older kind of condo or an apartment, you get really spacious areas. Like the kitchens are big, the bedrooms are big, the bathrooms are big. And then what I really love is the amenities of every single condo. You'll have huge sprawling swimming pools, tennis courts, playgrounds for the kids, picnic areas, barbecue pits. It's an SOP for condos to have these kind of amenities. And when I talk about swimming pools, I'm not talking about like narrow, small swimming pools. Like I'm talking about really big resort kind of swimming pools. And I think that's just really good for quality of life, because if I was like, let's say living in in like a city wherein my condo would be like very small and crammed and it wouldn't have these kind of resort-like amenities, then I would feel like I'm just here to like work to make the money. But since like especially like the condo that I live in has beautiful amenities, and I have like in my living room we have a really great view of our pool, I really feel like there's work-life balance. So even if I'm working until 7-8 p.m. I'm looking at my pool and I feel relaxed. I feel okay. And my weekends, even if I don't go out on weekends, I still get that like work-life balance because I can just go down and swim and feel the really nice warm breeze on my face. So I think Singapore is a really great place to raise kids because it's safe, because they experience like interacting with different kinds of cultures and races. So like for Dallas, I think that's a really great educational experience for him, like having friends of different nationalities and being able to play outside safely without worrying about getting sick or getting run over or getting kidnapped, and everything being so just convenient and easy. It's just a good quality of life, and for me at least, I really experienced the work-life balance. The fifth thing is that people are smart. Okay, you get to speak to smart people. They are efficient as well, and like I said, like it's a hot pot, so you talk to people of different nationalities and it's a great experience, like for you to learn from other people. And like I said, people are on the most part really welcoming, and they embrace diversity, and you just really learn from each other and enjoy each other's company. And the last thing that I love about Singapore is the actual location of the country within Southeast Asia. Why? Because the location of the country makes it free from natural disaster. You will get your thunderstorms, but they are mostly thunder. If it rains really strongly, that rain is not gonna last you like days and days and days. So there's no like super massive flooding, no earthquakes. So it's basically in a good spot within Southeast Asia that keeps you free and safe from all of these natural disasters. Another thing about the location of the country itself is that it is easy to get to nearby countries, and it's also cheaper to travel to nearby countries such as Bali, Thailand, Vietnam. It's even cheaper, I think, to travel like to Europe or even like the US from here than it is to travel to these countries from the Philippines. The only thing is that Singapore itself doesn't have like provinces or beaches that you can go to by car ride or by a boat, but you can get to other countries easier, and certainly it's way more affordable than traveling to other countries from the Philippines. So those are the reasons why I love Singapore. Now let me tell you about my favorite places to eat in Singapore, and also let me give you a few recommendations for when you come and visit. So let's start out with where to eat. Of course, I love eating. You love eating. I mean, I'll start with the restaurants first, like a little bit high-end, not too much, but a little bit, so a little bit pricey, but these are my favorites. Definitely PS Cafe is a favorite. It is a little bit pricey, so I only save that for special occasions, but I love, love, love PS Cafe. Their truffle fries is definitely a must there, and all of their cakes. Yum! Another one is Open Farm Community. That is a really gorgeous restaurant as well. Like if you want to see greenery all around you, but the food is really, really good. My favorite dish from Open Farm Community is the Sumatran crab taglioni. It's like a dry laksa, so it's pasta, but there's no soup. My favorite brunch place is the Awesome Cafe along Telok Ayer. They have really, really yummy breakfasts, and they have really yummy smoothies as well, and that's all like healthy stuff. Then there's also the Coastal Settlement. That's a really nice place to go to as well. It has this kind of retro chic kind of look, but the food is really good too. And I also love the Halia at Botanical Garden. So if we're on a budget, there's also a lot of places where you can eat. In fact, Singapore, as you know, specializes in street food, or what we call hawker. So this is where you can really experience local food at its best at a really, really affordable price. So to be honest with you, I don't really go out that much. So I'm sure I'm missing a lot of things here on my list, but this is what I have experienced and loved so far. So obviously, if you're in Singapore, you need to go to Lau Pa Sat. Okay, so I think like all of the best hawkers are there. Lau Pa Sat is the hawker like food center that was featured in the movie Crazy Rich Asians. So when you're there, you have to eat chicken rice, you have to eat Indian food, you have to eat fishball noodle, you have to eat laksa, you have to eat prata. Literally everything is delicious. At Maxwell Food Center near Chinatown, you should definitely try their chicken rice. It's very, very famous. Like there's always a super, super long queue for it. But if you're going there, make sure to try that out. I'm sure it tastes well. I don't eat chicken, so I don't eat the chicken rice, but everybody says it's good. I also love the hawker stalls at Chinatown Food Street. Maybe not because of the quality of the food itself, but certainly because of the variety and also like the atmosphere. You should definitely go try out the cafes at Tiong Bahru. So the Tiong Bahru cafe itself, you should definitely go get a chocolate croissant there. But they're very quaint, very hipster. It's a very popular place to go. Another place that's really affordable that I like to go even if I don't have visitors, I like to go to Zam Zam. Okay, so this has like Arabian kind of food, Indian, and really yummy kind of food, and I love that kind of food as well. And of course, you cannot visit Singapore without eating chili crabs. There are a lot of places to get really, really delicious chili crabs. Make sure to get them in all flavors as well. There's like a salted fish chili crab, other flavors as well, and then like eat it with hot buns. Oh my god, so delicious. One really good place to get chili crabs is Melben Seafood Restaurant. And that's basically where I love to eat in Singapore. When you're coming, make sure to check one of my recommendations out. First of all, Singapore has really, really cool museums. I'm not going to name them all for you, but I will tell you what my favorites are. Definitely National Gallery is a must. Okay, that must be on the top of your list. It is so beautiful. The structure itself, the building itself is so beautiful. There's a lot of beautiful artwork inside, and also there's an indoor playground that is so, so pretty. I'm an adult and I want to play there. I also love the Art Science Museum. They have different exhibitions inside, so they change from time to time. The most recent one was the Alice in Wonderland exhibition where we went to. Then there's the Future World. I think that one doesn't change. I think that one's just permanent. The Future World, really great for photo ops as well. That's by Marina Bay Sands Art Science Museum. If you're really into design, there's the Red Dot Museum. If you're really into art, there's the Gilman Barracks Museum. And then of course there's the National Museum, which gives you really great lessons in history. If you have kids, you need to go to the Science Center. The Science Center is so, so cool. Even me as an adult, I really enjoyed it. But if you have kids, you definitely need to spend a day or half a day at least at the Science Center. I promise you, it is really, really cool. It's so interesting and it's unique. If you have little boys who really like airplanes and army and stuff, you should definitely check out the Air Force Museum. They display their aircraft, fighter jets, and then there's also like an indoor museum, a little bit like Kidzania, wherein like kids can pretend that they're pilots. You see the inside of the jets and everything. There's simulation. It's really, really cool. Okay, so those are my favorite museums. Moving on now to where else you should visit when you're in Singapore. So definitely, of course, you need to visit Marina Bay Sands. If you have the time, go up to the observation deck and take great pictures there. You need to go to Gardens by the Bay, of course, and take really nice pictures there as well. You'll want to go to Sentosa. However, I don't really recommend the beaches at Sentosa, only because, you know, they're man-made, and if you're Filipino, we have the best beaches. So just stick to the beaches in the Philippines. But for when you're in Sentosa, you can do other things. There are many other things to do. You can watch a light show. You can just go around. There are many picturesque areas there. If you're into theme parks, of course, there's the Universal Studios. My daughters are going to be very upset at me for saying this, but the Singapore Zoo is very, very beautiful. World class. We haven't visited the zoo though for many years because my daughters are all against zoos. So let me just clarify, I'm not promoting zoos, okay? I'm just telling you that Singapore has like the best zoo. Oh, and by the way, when you're at Marina Bay Sands, make sure you watch the 8 p.m. lights show. And going back to Sentosa, the aquarium is really beautiful as well. And I'm gonna get in trouble again because my daughters don't like aquariums too. It's just like a zoo. But again, I'm just telling you that the aquarium at Sentosa is really beautiful. Other really cool places, of course, are Haji Lane. So you need to walk down that lane. It's very hipster, very picturesque, and you can eat at a cafe there. You can eat Mexican food there. Mexican food is fantastic there, really fresh, really delicious, and not expensive. You can do a little bit of shopping there as well. They have like very unique items that you can't buy anywhere else. You can go to Chimes, take some pictures there. It's a very nice place to go to. There are some restaurants there as well that are very delicious. If you're really into gardens and greenery, you must check out the Botanical Gardens. Try not to go when it's super hot because you might regret it, because like you have to do a lot of walking there. But the greenery is so, so beautiful. Like it's really nature at its best. It's a really, really relaxing place to like just take strolls and enjoy nature, enjoy the greenery. You can lay down in the park there and just spend the rest of your afternoon, have a picnic, play ball with your kids, read a book, read your Kindle, bring your iPad and watch your TV series. It's great. It's a wonderful place to like spend a whole Sunday, for example. Okay, my last favorite place in Singapore is quite new, and it is now my official Tambayan. Tambayan means like a place where you always go, and it is Jewel at Changi. It's because like it's pretty close to where I live, and I love the movie houses there. I love the food court there. There's also a Shake Shack there. There's an A&W fast food chain there, and of course there is the famous Water Vortex there. There's also a Muji cafe there and lots of other cool cafes, and you can really literally spend the entire day there. And I love it. I love going there because it's so nearby and it's so convenient, and everything that you need to do is there. So I love Jewel. Okay, and that is it for today. I hope you liked this little video. Please leave a thumbs up if you do. If you want to hear about any other topic from me, let me know down below in the comments. But before I go, of course, there is the fun Filipino word of the day. My fun Filipino word of the day is pag-ibig. Pag-ibig simply means love. A lot of people sing about pag-ibig. a lot of movies are about pag-ibig. You can say poetry about pag-ibig. You can feel pag-ibig. Like me, I feel pag-ibig towards Singapore. That is the fun Filipino word of the day, pag-ibig. And my shout out today goes to Strawberry Love. Hi there, thanks for following me and subscribing to my channel. Thanks for all your support. If you want a shout out on any of my videos, you know what to do. Leave a comment down below and be active on my Instagram account as well. So I hope you like this video. Thanks so much for watching. Love you guys. Bye.